Okay, I'm gonna do electricity since I don't have the funds to do it. It's a mere like $150 or so to do, um, but I don't have the electricity, the funds to do it. But I'm gonna do it on YouTube so that scientists that they can do it and I can get paid. And anywho, but here we go. If just real quick, electricity at the moment, you'd say, well, we have electricity. Well, you take in these little fluxes of electricity, you put them in they call it a transformer. It's really a conductor, inductor, inducer, all kinds of things. It can be called conductor. It collects electricity. You can control the voltage, amperage. It's actually voltage. Some people like to look at it as amperage, but it's just voltage because it's just voltage. There's a place where you can look at it as amperage. No need. Okay. So, um, basically, if you take you store it, and it comes out, that's what's happening now. Mine is electricity, as in two forms. One, if you put a fan in the air, it's turning this thing, it's turning. There's something called, so when it's turning, that's 1 to 1. Now, if you can get it to electricity, I can get it to electricity, and that would be, um, I can get 1 to 3. Anywho, um, mine is 1 to 64, but I can get it to electricity, and then 1 to 64. Anywho, so here's how you do it. If you go to Radio Shack, you buy Circuit 1. It's basically the circuit connections um, that we came up with in the past in history and stuff. This form is called direct beam. So let's say you have a fan and it's a good amount of steady breeze. You put a like a waterfall where it would collect water and it would spin the little wheel. Except you close those off and you put water because water is fluid. You wouldn't use sand. It's not fluid. You put one here, like if there was a shaft, you'd have like thing and it's turning and a way to that energy is already water, fall, or wind. You put if this rod is like this and another rod like from here to here is smaller, and you put another one there at the end, about here, and there's another one there with water. It's now 1 to 64. So here you have your things. Here you have circuit 1. Circuit 3 is direct, which means just direct, and you have 1 to 64 electricity. This is stable. If you put a rubber thing here, and it'll go halfway through rubber, it's grounded because you have concrete block, which you can do. This one is like 1500, but if you go outside, you have rubber on dirt, then you don't need the concrete block for grounding. Basically, you put 2 prongs, 1 prong here on the rubber, 1 prong at the back straight though, and the wire is in the dirt. It's grounded. So now electricity, if you turn it a little with it, get it going, it does about 3 bursts. It'll go shh. You'll see barely not blue for electricity, okay? The second one will be blue, but it won't be stabilized. The third one won't look stabilized, but it'll be barely light blue. The last one was blue. But it gets to blue, and it stays at light blue. That's electricity. And then it'll get the dark blue only when the rubber needs to be changed. So it shoots about halfway through the rubber since it's grounded, and it stays there, telling you it's electricity. You can pull the electricity from the rubber by putting another 2 prongs. One here and one here straight, but it has to go down a little, about a third, what's called eviscerator maximus. So you can find it basically about 2 inches from where you believe. It's halfway through the rubber. Always halfway through the rubber well, there's 2 ways to do it. 4-inch rubber if you're doing the small one, which it's not that one we're doing here. It's 8 feet because this is the big one. Anyway, so 4 feet through it, 4 1/3 actually, because that's what eviscerator maximus says. This is the one I do anyway. There's a middle one which doesn't work as well because it fluxes, and that's the one I was going down, but the ground doesn't work as well because the dirt wants more wire. The bigger you go into a different wire range. Anywho, so then you have 1 to 64 electricity. This is not yet, and the feeling we go about is as if this is. This is not one we have to collect so that you can shoot out 12 volts. You can hook up 12 volt transistor is what it's called, so it shoots out only 12 volts. Hook it up to it, put a power cable there, plug things into it. It can power almost the whole world. If you took Sydney, cut it up into eighths, 2/8 of it, a quarter of it, you would not be able to power, but only because it needs a power generator. So that's electricity. The next one I'm going to do here in about a second is electricity from nothing, which I can say nothing, but it is actually something, but it's really cool. You gotta check it out. Bye. Hyru. Yeah, I've been doing my gangster rap thing up here. I'm sure you've heard of me. I was going by Matthias with an A, changed it to Matthias with a U, but figuring this place out and stuff, I'm pretty sure my artist name is Hyru, so sorry for switching it around and stuff, but just the way it is. Hold it down for 360 West Coast. Love what y'all doing over there too. Get to you soon. Later, guys.